Welcome back to part 3 of episode 22. We talked about Edward Scissorhands and Groundhog Day. Go back and check them out if you haven't already. But part 3 is going to be Frozen. Came out in 2013. If you don't know what Frozen is, what rock have you been living under? Holy shit. I don't think I need to explain what this movie is about. Everybody knows everything about this movie, even if you haven't seen the movie. If you have any kid that's remotely close to you in your life, you know way too much about this movie already. Has an 89 score for the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter of the critics and an 86 for the audience score, which is, about the same on par of what we've been doing for these movies. They're all kind of like the upper 80s, lower 90s kind of. Frozen is a very, let's just say, it's a very popular movie, but it's also a very divisive movie. So this is going to be interesting to see. What are your thoughts on Frozen, in general, when it comes to how big of a phenomenon it is and your first reactions to it and everything like that? Dace?
It's terrible, and the people that like it are terrible too.
Well, you've got 2 young kids that are around your house all the time and stuff like that, but they're 2 young boys. So have they ever gotten into Frozen?
Yeah, unfortunately, Junior has.
Oh,
he
man.
is currently obsessed with it, and he tries to make me watch it, and I tell him that he's no longer my nephew. And that I like John better for the fact that he watches Frozen. My brother reinforces that fact, too, so hopefully we'll break him and he'll be a Star Wars fan in a few months.
Nice. Cheng, what about you? What was your first situation when it came to Frozen?
Alright, so don't judge me so much, but it's just a terrible event that led me to seeing Frozen. But it was just like a matinee was offering, it was like 2 weeks after Frozen came out, and me and another guy friend were like, hey man, let's go check out this movie. It's like a Wednesday afternoon, let's go see it. And we went not knowing that, freaking parents would take their kids out of school to see this movie. And so I was jam-packed full of little kids and parents, and we're the only people there over the age of 20, just men. And we're like, damn it. And it was one of those versions that had the lyrics pop up.
Oh God.
Oh, like the closed captioning thing?
Yeah, so everyone could sing.
The sing-along.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Damn it.
Oh God, they have a sing-along thing?
Yeah, they have a sing-along?
Yeah, and it was, again, I waited. And I thought it was the perfect, let the rush die out and, no one will see it. Wrong. It was an afternoon, so imagine either parents took their kids out early, out of school, or didn't take their kids to school at all. They went to go see Frozen, so I was just like, what?
And they're just kind of what are these 20-something-year-old men doing here?
Yeah, and I'm just like, damn it, now people know, people, they see my face. So, that was, tarnished it, initially. But, I get it. It's a very, by-the-numbers musical movie. So I like some of the songs, yeah. But I don't care for this plot. The plot is just crazy. But it's aware, I think. I think for most Disney movies, at least this one's kind of got a modern twist where they're kind of aware of the tropes. So I give it some props for that. They didn't go all the way classic Disney fairy tale story.
When we were picking our movies, Caroline, it seemed like you were most excited about Frozen.
I was ready to sing because I like the music from Frozen.
Are you gonna sing on this podcast?
I am not. I'm too awake for that.
I'm pretty sure, even though we don't have it to where people can leave comments yet because we're recording this not live, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna leave a comment saying that you need to sing. I'm speaking on behalf of them that you should sing at some point.
No. Only if Cheng sings with me.
Oh, I need a lyric version again. I need the words to pop up so I can ignore them and not stare at kids singing badly, by the way. If I wanted to critique it at the end, be like, you kids suck. You're not kids, Bob.
Oh.
Wanted to say that to a bunch of kids, but I know that's how you get kicked out of a theater and put on a blacklist.
But the music hits you in a certain way, Caroline?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not my favorite Disney movie. I agree with Cheng. It does have some really good points to it. I get it why it's popular. I took my mom to watch it because whenever a movie like this comes out, since I don't have a child, and my mom is visiting, I take her, and she loves it. So I get why it's popular. I don't think it's a horrible movie. It's not the best, but I like the music. I think Let It Go just like, I don't know if it's like just because I'm overly sensitive sometimes, but it spoke to me.
So when I first saw any kind of a preview or anything for this movie, it was, a couple months before the movie came out. I'm at a movie theater that I don't normally go to, and I was watching something else, and I can't remember what else it was that I was watching. I want to say maybe it was the second Hunger Games, but my timeline might be completely off. I don't know. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, this kind of looks like it sucks. Like, are people going to go nuts over like this kind of shitty snowman? Like, whatever. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I actually didn't even think that it was Disney at first. I thought that this was DreamWorks, because there seems to be a real discrepancy between DreamWorks and like Disney Pixar. Usually Disney Pixar movies are things that I'm like, oh, damn, that looks pretty damn good. And the DreamWorks ones are the ones where I go, I think I can kind of skip that. So out of nowhere, a couple months goes by, the movie gets released, and it's a phenomenon. And I'm like, holy shit, that's the movie with a snowman that I thought sucked? Like, where did this come out of nowhere? And it's, breaking box office things. And I've got 2 nieces and a nephew, and I just, for the past couple of years, that this has been out, like, my one niece in particular, she loves Elsa, so it's like,
Aww.
I'll go over there, I'm like babysitting or something like that, and it's like she's got this Frozen thing and this Frozen thing and that Frozen thing, and it's like, oh, look at this is Elsa and this is whatever, and I'm like, I don't know anything about this movie, because I kept putting it off. I didn't want to watch this, and I think it was 17 minutes into the movie, I posted a message on Facebook, and I just said, this movie sucked. And thankfully, I will admit, it got better, but I got a huge problem with different parts of this movie. I'm going to pick apart some of this, and I want to get your opinions, if I'm just completely cynical or what. Do you guys agree that it's completely rushed?
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the plot?
Yeah, like one of my least favorite parts of the whole thing was the prince, I'm blanking on his name now, the bad guy.
Hans?
Hans.
Yeah. He bumps into her, he catches her so she doesn't fall, and then they just start dancing. It's like, that's what would happen.
Yeah, but like...
But it's
even
a Disney movie, Tony.
Yeah, and that's why Elsa's kind of like, you can't just do that.
Well, I did like when they would pull those, like you said, that they were subverting some different tropes, and that was nice when it was like Elsa just going like, you can't marry somebody you just fucking met, and it was like, all right, good. Elsa has a, solid head in her brain or whatever like that.
Even though she's like this antisocial queen.
Yeah, but it was like stuff
Nothing
like
wrong with that.
bugged me. Like, somebody called me out on it on Facebook, and they were like, oh, it's a kid's movie, and I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't stop Aladdin from not having as many plot holes. Or like The Lion King or Toy Story or WALL-E. You know what I mean?
Okay, so the whole, you want the romance to last longer? Was that your issue?
I kind of wanted, maybe would have had like 1 or 2 more scenes for a lot of different parts of the movie to kind of justify it a little bit more. And they could have cut that first song, because that song sucks. That one about the blocks of the ice.
Oh, like this is how they make their money? By cutting ice?
Yeah,
but
just
it sets up the community how they depend on the ice, though. So it's weird. Like, there's a lot of pros and cons of having things. Like it introduces Sven. Like it introduces like this boy who's raised by rock trolls. So it shows them that again, like the community we mentioned in the beginning is terrible.
Oh,
like,
they're horrible.
If royalty, the parents are terrible for raising their kid differently. Like to outcast their own child in a weird way. And then it's the community that, the royalty rules over. They're terrible because there's an orphan ice boy that like they just lose track of, and they're just like, whatever, like he'll die in the woods. It's nature.
Hey, we cut ice. We don't watch kids.
Yeah, apparently, whatever.
Go to the fucking rock trolls. They'll deal with you. Are we supposed to believe that Elsa was locked up in her room the entire time, or did she leave that room?
I think it was like she was always supervised when she left, right? Like, because she had to leave at some point to do things like outside to show the community that like she's still alive. Because she couldn't like tweet, like she things. She had to go outside because apparently they're all about like ceremonies. They take ceremonies really serious.
Well, I mean, we know that Elsa and Anna haven't seen Anna. I should say. People are be like, it's Anna, not Anna. They haven't seen each other for years, so they've kept the two of them apart. But I was like, I don't know if that really implies that she's just in the room all the time, and like somebody just brings her food, and she's got a bathroom in there or whatever.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, or if that like every time that Elsa needed to leave that room, they're just kind of like, Anna, now you get locked up in the room or whatever like that.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I thought that she was. I thought that she locked herself in that room and she was there forever until.
Well,
the big like festival or whatever.
Here's where I get into the same argument I had with Edward Scissorhands. So, if I was an idiot for that, I'm surely an idiot for this. If she's locked up in that room all the time, and then she goes off and she builds that ice castle or whatever like that, like what's she doing for food? She's by herself.
They bring her food
in the ice castle.
Oh, the ice castle. Oh, I see. She makes popsicles.
She probably killed things with her ice powers. Like she probably hunted. It's the forest. They're not gonna show you that scene because she could definitely hunt with the ice powers.
Yeah. Hello.
Do you want to kill some bunnies?
I mean, she doesn't have to stab them. She could just freeze them to death and then thaw them out.
Well, she can create life. She created Olaf. So maybe she can create animals that she can eat.
Snow animals. Who knows?
I kind of thought the Do You Want to Build a Snowman song was kind of sad.
Yeah.
It needs to be sad. Oh my god.
That was where I was just kind of well, this is a little ridiculous that they're locking her in the room, but I'll buy into it because it's sad, and it's kind of like the beginning of Up, where you're just kind of all right, well, hit me with the feels, and then we'll move on.
Right, okay, but the parents didn't die yet during the You Want to Build a Snowman, right?
Right, yeah.
So the parents
they died during it.
Right, but during it, for the first few verses, the parents are staring at this kid singing through a keyhole.
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
Horrible parents.
Horrible parents.
They're not just going, oh, man, our children really should, still kind of know each other.
All because she threw a snowball at her head. That's what started this whole mess.
Yeah, just don't let her do it anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't really do it again until later, but I mean, up to that point, it's just wear gloves, whatever.
Yeah, this is the argument of, do violent video games turn kids into killers, or does bad parenting? Bad parenting led to this incident, not magic. Screw those parents.
I'm just trying to figure out why didn't they let the troll help her further? The troll knew the power, it cured Anna, and they're just bye. We're not going to talk about this, or have an agreement that we can blackmail you, this royal family, that your daughter's a witch.
They're oh, that's awesome, thanks. See ya.
And no song for them.
Let's see what else I have down here. No effort at all in establishing who that one villain was, where he just gets introduced and says I'm a villain. Oh, did I say that out loud? That was the point where I stopped the movie and typed out the status about it sucking. It was just really, this is how cheap we're gonna go. And then we've got For the First Time in Forever song. Don't start writing these songs for Valley Girl idiots. Is the next Disney movie going to have a song that's I Can't Even right now?
Probably, if it stars modern day.
Ugh. But
we talk about the weasel guy.
Yeah, the dude with the mustache.
I bet that he's that was the obvious thing though. It was the red herring. But it turns out they're just both evil. It wasn't oh no, he's actually a good guy. No, he's just still evil. There's more evil people apparently.
I will give him credit for me not liking the prince and then it turning out that he's not supposed to be likable. I'll give him credit for that. They pulled that off. That was just kind of I don't really like this Hans guy. Oh, good, I'm not supposed to. Instead of just being oh, he's a dick that I'm
Well, and again, it's another twist where it's for young kids introducing to fairy tales, it's kind of oh, not every prince is a good guy.
Right, yeah.
So I thought that was clever, but not too clever. I'm fuck yeah, Disney. You really knew how to M. Night me.
It all turns out that the only reason that it's frozen is the trees did it.
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Happening?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was
Dace-
just the snow. Like this whole thing was just winter will kill you.
Yeah. Well, even though they've got like a town where they export ice. You know. Dace, what do you think about the music as far as like the good songs, the bad songs? Which ones? How would you rank them, sort of?
They're all terrible songs, and people who like them are terrible people.
Oh, I'm terrible then. I
Sorry.
like the songs.
They're terrible. Okay.
They're not.
I've heard covers of Let It Go that are better than the very.
I mean,
Mel Brooks
I don't
female.
care for how like it's sung in the movie, but the lyrics are cute.
Hey, make sure you say her name right. She's the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. The hell was Travolta thinking with
Scientology. Yeah.
Idina Menzel? Adele Dazeem. What?
Adele
Like,
Dazeem.
that's like just a mindfuck of dyslexia. Oh god, and it was even more awkward the next year when he apologized and he was just like groping her face the whole time. Like,
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
Ew.
super weird.
Caroline, what's your favorite song and your least favorite song?
My favorite, I think it's Let It Go, and my least favorite, probably the Ice one. I didn't care for the First Time Forever as well. I guess I just really liked Let It Go and Do You Want to Build a Snowman, because for months, like I couldn't get that song out of my head.
Were you just like walking down the street in New York humming Do You Want to Build a
Do
Snowman?
you want to build a snowman? There, I sung.
Cheng, how do they rank for you? What's the best and worst?
Like Let It Go is like the definite song of the movie. It's kind of like show you the world I can show you the world, up from Aladdin. So it's at like level, I think, of people just like, it's catchy. It's something you could sing a lot. People join in if you start it at the time, at least. And for me, I think, the Fixer Upper song is just weird.
Oh,
I
that's
like
a
it.
weird one, yeah.
But it's not my favorite of it, but like, other than that, like it's still like other songs are like it has meaning. The Fixer Upper one was definitely like, super musical comedy out of nowhere. Let's do these crazy like things. But it was, again, like the music isn't bad, but I imagine if you're like listening to it for like a week, you can probably go nuts. And I understand where Dace kind of like lost like all respect.
She sang it on like 18 live events within 2 weeks of the movie's release. It's terrible.
Yeah, like for me, I saw that one time in theaters with kids, and then I was like, I gotta really stick away from Frozen for a while. Like, I gotta change my identity. So that's why for me, Frozen was like very paced out. But I imagine if like you're with kids and they're insane with it, like, oh crap, they're probably gonna own the weird Disney CD of it.
Yeah, then they're gonna want you to sing along, and then can't do it.
Oh, see? Yeah.
I will say though, I did like mostly the four characters that I like the best of this. I like Sven because it's hard to not like Sven.
Yeah,
Right,
Sven's
he's just
awesome.
Cute little reindeer. Olaf was better than I thought he was going to be, but he was a little bit annoying too. Like, kind of struck me as the type of thing where whenever they do the sequel, they're going to do a sequel. It's a guarantee. This movie made way too much money for them not to be like, let's do Frozen 2, even if they just do a huge cop-out.
Yeah, they are doing one. They're making a sequel.
Just even more Frozen.
Probably.
Olaf strikes me as the type of character that could get annoying as shit in the second one.
Well, Josh Gad's annoying as shit too. So.
It's true.
Like this is very Josh Gaddy acting. I saw him in The Wedding Ringer, and he just looks the same. Like he sounds the same to me.
See, I hadn't seen anything that he was in other than Frozen, except for Pixels. And I forgot that it was Josh Gad, but I was watching this movie and I'm just kind of like, this voice sounds familiar, and something seems familiar about it. And I do agree, this is very Josh Gad.
Yeah, it's kind of like a parody of himself. I feel like his nerdy side, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that next time they're going to try to go even more crazy with that, and that's going to get a little bothersome.
Yeah, they're probably going to do something with him. It's because he's such a weird, like, lovable goof that they see. So they're probably going to market something about him now, like direct, where it's like he's trying to find like something. I'm just just guessing what the sequel could be, and it's gonna be way more Olaf.
Olaf and the Icicle Twins or something like that. Like,
yeah, Because when I looked at him, I was like, oh, it's like an inbred snowman. Like, this is what I think an inbred snowman would look like.
It's like Forrest Gump.
Bro, it's like hills that have eyes, like inbred snowman design. Like, he's got a giant nose and an overdeveloped mandible. Like, I'm like, that's what inbred looks like.
I'm not a smart snowman.
He wants to always, like, be near, like, heat element that can kill him. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
dumbass.
no. So I'm just like, oh, God, like, that's inbreeding.
That should be the story of the sequel. To be Anna gets powers of intense heat and makes it to where everybody's just like, the town's in a heat wave.
It's just,
And Olaf is just like, fuck.
I'm dying.
This sucks. Why can't we go back to the snow? Kristoff, pretty good character, I think, for, sort of the runt that becomes the good guy, I guess. I liked Anna the best, though, I think. I liked how she was a normal person. She had flaws.
I like Elsa.
Everybody seems to like Elsa, but I don't know, I kind of thought that she was weird.
Tough. Like, and she's kind of bitchy. I like that. Anna just annoy me. Like, she's too happy, even though her situations shouldn't call for that. Like, I guess that's a good thing. I guess it teaches kids to be happy regardless. But I didn't buy it. Like, I call that bullshit. Like, she annoyed me.
And she deserved to lose the kingdom if she was going to be queen.
That bitch in her gloves. What do you guys think about any kind of like lines that stood out as something funny or anything that's like, a real good thumbs up, or in Dace's case, the one thing in particular that you hate other than the music? Because I got to agree, Let It Go was annoying as shit.
My favorite thing was the credits.
Caroline, anything stand out to you?
I don't know. Like, I like Sven. I like whenever they make him act like a dog, or when he tries to eat Olaf's nose because he deserved it.
He deserved it.
Sven was my favorite. I
Cheng,
feel like a
anything?
little kid now.
Anything on your end, Cheng?
I had that theory where like she was so outcast from like when Elsa was outcast from like society by hanging out in her room. When she like finally gets the freedom to like make her own ice palace, like she gets crazy like sexy for no reason. You know what I mean? Like transformation scene always like stood out where I was like, wait, what? Like what Disney animator took over at this point? That her dress changes, she wears makeup now. Like I'm like, what? Like it's such a violent shift in like tone. I'm like, wait, where did she get inspiration for Elsa? You think about it, Elsa didn't really hang out with people, so how does she know to do this? How does she know to make a dress now?
And how does she make a dress if her power is to just create snow?
Yeah, again,
I don't remember Iceman ever doing that.
But like everything else kind of makes sense if everything's made out of ice. Her dress is like fabric, and I'm like, what? So that for me has always stood out. I'm like, that's awesome, but like not explained.
I do know what you mean though about the whole like her like sexual awakening kind of happens, because it's just like, I mean, Anna does it too. Anna's doing the whole "Do you want to build a snowman?" and then it's like, well, we got this party coming up. I hope I find a guy.
And then she's like, I found a man.
Yeah, like the very first thing she wants to do is just like jump some dude's bones. And then Elsa does a whole song of like, well, I guess I'm mature now, and let me like wink at the camera, basically. And it's just like,
yeah, see,
it's uncomfortable.
when you listen to the song by itself, it means one thing, right? But when you see that whole animation with like the context before it, you're like, wait, what? And like she's like, it's like 17 or 18 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, she's not an older like mature lady. She was like 7 in the beginning. It's only been 10 years. So that's why I'm like, whoa, this is weird now.
I had one note that was down, and since it's been a couple of weeks since I saw this, I don't remember exactly what the joke is, but I wrote it down as my favorite thing in the entire movie, which was, I passed a kidney stone. Anybody remember what that was?
I passed a kidney stone.
I want to say that it was probably one of the rock trolls said it, because that would be, the pun.
Yeah, because it's a stone joke.
I just don't remember what it is, but apparently I liked it enough that I stopped the movie at that time to write down that was my favorite part.
I think it's a fix-em-upper. It's somewhere in that song.
Oh, maybe it is in that.
But you know what I mean? Like no kid's gonna appreciate the whole song because no one understands what like a fixer-upper is in relationship terms.
Or passing a kidney stone.
No kid should ever pass a kidney stone. Let me tell you that.
So 0 to 10 rankings. Dace, how far on the 0 does this rank?
.0001.
Oh, gets that 001.
Yeah,
Not 0001.
for the credits.
Those awesome credits.
Font was amazing.
Caroline?
I'll give it a 5. I think that it's definitely not the best Disney has done, but I did appreciate the fact that we haven't talked about this, and I guess I'll just talk about it now. The whole like, oh, only a kiss from your true love will set you free or will save her. And everybody's expecting, oh, of course, like he's gonna go, he's gonna kiss. Oh, and there's like ambulance. Sorry, guys. He's gonna save her. He's gonna kiss her, and it turns out it's like a sister's love, and that's like such a nice thing to teach kids. Like you don't need a man. You just need to always remember your family will be there for you. I think like that's really sweet.
Just on the other side of the door. You know, actually, Maleficent sort of did the same thing. And I saw that when it was in theaters, so by the time this came along with Frozen, I was just kind of like, oh, I've seen it before, even though this came out before. Cheng, what's your 0 to 10?
Like a 5. It's in that borderline where it's tolerable, or but it's like I like it because the modern themes it wasn't going to go full like fairy tale. Everything's awesome. Like there's no struggle. The sister love thing was different, like which I'm like, like cool. Disney is actually expanding some of like the themes. So, but you understand, like this is based off an even older fairy tale story about the Ice Queen. That like I think depending on which version you read, the ending's different. But
those stories are always so much darker.
So much darker. So that's why I'm like,
yeah, they're not for kids.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, like for what the material came from, like it still did a decent job.
Doesn't like Cinderella end with the stepsisters getting their eyes plucked out by birds or something?
Yeah.
And dancing with fire shoes.
Huh.
Yeah. Ariel cuts off her own tongue.
Really?
When she's like making a pact with with Ursula, she cuts her tongue off. And
she doesn't actually end up with Eric. She actually kills him.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
And then she dies. I think she turns into sea foam or something.
Yeah, it's like that's why the ocean's this way, because of the Legend of the Little Mermaid, because like sea foam can only like be on the edge of the beach. That's as far as it can go. That's the same. Like it's like something really fucked up about beach lore.
They're all depressing. Like that though. They're all about like cannibalism and violence and all that.
So Disney does not have the balls to ever go that direction.
Well, clearly the version of Frozen had to have been that like Olaf burns alive somehow, even though he's snow and he would melt. They make him like solid enough to burn at the same time, and Anna probably gets murdered by Hans, and Sven is like somebody's meal. Like just
actually, I think like the story is like villagers kill Elsa for making it snow so much, and like the Elsa and Anna aren't sisters, so it's okay for her to die. So it's just super weird.
It turns out that the mustache twirling dude is like the hero. Again, yeah, we killed that bitch, and now it's not snowing anymore.
You know how I defended Jim back in the Edward Scissorhands part? It's the community is just like, this monster is fucking up everything. And I'm like, Edward Scissorhands, this woman is killing people with snow. And like, if they didn't kill her, right, people would have died. Like, the whole town would have been frozen to death.
So that's it for Frozen for us. Leave your comments below, and we're going to continue on in the very last part here, part 4, Snowpiercer. Click on that if you're on YouTube, and sit back and relax if you're on iTunes and Stitcher.